Good morning over on Facebook and YouTube. Let's get our Instagram up and running. What in the wild world of I don't have time for this is going on with commercial auditions? Somebody please explain. Good morning. This is the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. Welcome. Let me know. I'm Benjamin House, and let me know what you're working on in your acting career. Give me a heads up of what it is that you're all looking at today, because yesterday I had a commercial audition that's due today at 1:30. And the audition came to my inbox at 12:20 a.m. yesterday morning. So for starters, I'm like, whose schedule are we working on? Whose schedule is my agent working on? Like the casting director. That enough that is crazy enough to me, right? 12:20 a.m. The audition comes in to me. It's due at 1:30 today. I like to, if I have time, get it done. I have a class uh, in a few hours with a casting director, so I wanted to get the audition done. So I started ringing around and trying to find somebody to read with me, because it's a commercial audition. Commercial auditions take so much more than a comedic or dramatic audition for a film or TV show. So much more. This was 3 prompts into improvs, and this wasn't too bad. But because it's improv, I set the situation up with the prompts that have been given to us, and then we play with it, right? Because it's an improv. You want to, explore different ways of seeing what fun can be had, what games can you create. And I just find commercial auditions a lot, because what ends up happening is that whereas with a co-star or guest star, there'll be 1, maybe 2 scenes that you have to memorize. So, okay, there's memorization involved, which you don't have to do with commercials, but it's 1 or 2 scenes. You do 2, maybe 3 takes of each one. So you're sort of under 10 pieces of film. Commercials, you're you have at least 10 pieces of film that you have to go through, analyze, and then edit and put together. This simple audition for a commercial, it ended up taking me 4 hours to get it all recorded, selected, edited, uploaded. I don't know. It's just like that felt like a simple audition, and it still took me half the day. And my thing is like, what about all of those people who have day jobs, who get the audition notice when they wake up, right? Because it came in at 12:20 a.m., but they've got to go to work that day. So okay, they've got to go do their day job. So then they get home from their day job, having been organized throughout the day and looked at the material, nothing to memorize, so they can't memorize it. But then they've organized their reader. They've got to get home, get set up, make sure they're in the mood for it, and then do the 4 hours of work. I'm just a little bit like, what is with the timeline? Like, that's crazy to me. Sorry, my cold is still kicking my ass. Excuse me. But that timeline is just so crazy to me. And there always just seems to be so much to it for commercial auditions. I don't know. Please, if you're in the commercial world, let me know how you deal with this. Let me know what your workflow and system is on the commercial front, because I feel like it's That I just feel like that stuff is crazy to me. All right, the other thing that I was thinking about yesterday, and I'm gonna uh, do some content about this, was that, of course, I had my class recently with Kim Misha, extremely well-respected, casting director here in New York City. She's cast Marvel. She cast, the Daredevil Born Again from Marvel. She cast Pretty Little Liars, Original Sin. She cast the original Gossip Girl. I mean, she's an extremely well respected teacher. And I've just been thinking a lot about the fact that the class that I did with her really wasn't a class. I've had uh, casting directors say to me, "Well, you can't use those classes as an opportunity just to get noticed by a casting director, as a way to just be seen as a casting director. That's just pay to play. That's not what these are for. Go with the intent, instead of going with the intention of introducing yourself to this casting director, you've got to go with the intention of learning something." I think that's super noble. I think that is a super noble thing to say, and aligns with the companies that do these things, Actors Connection and One-on-One NYC. I think it aligns with their statements that these are not pay to play opportunities, that you're not paying, that the actor is not just paying for an introduction to a casting director. And then then I did this class with Kim Misha, and there was no educational content involved. It wasn't like she had a syllabus prepared. It wasn't like she had anything prepared that she wanted to make sure that we walked away with. She opened it up to questions. She answered the questions that we asked, but it wasn't like she had an idea in mind of what it is that she was going to teach us. She just wanted to share her knowledge in answer to the questions that we asked. The we did our scenes for her, and she gave an adjustment, and the comments were, time is moving fast. The comments were so nice, but general and unspecific, that there wasn't anything to be learned from them. So in a way, I just kind of appreciated that Kim Misha was like, "No, it's not really a class. This is a pay to play." I mean, it's what we want anyway. I am not complaining at all. I uh I I I kind of appreciate that I got out of it exactly what I thought I was going to get out of it, which was an introduction to a casting director, and I appreciated the honesty and the directness of that. I know it's probably not uh what One-on-One and Actors Connection want me to be getting out of it, because that's in conflict with their statement that it's not a pay to play. But the other thing that Kim Misha did say in that class, which I wanted to share with everybody because I found it useful. Um, we got talking about the series regular because I am interested in, what I'm trying to do is move myself along and figure out the way up the ladder. And her point was like, there isn't really one path to being a series regular, because there are those cases where casting is looking for somebody so specific that it's somebody who is new to the industry. And what came to mind for me was Carmen Cuba casting Stranger Things for the Duffer Brothers, right? Because it's like, "Hey, friends, welcome to the Daily, the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. I'm Benjamin Howes. Let me know what you're working on in your acting career." But it brought to mind the Duffer Brothers and Carmen Cuba, finding all of those fantastic actors, those kids, those children, for Stranger Things. It wasn't like they had all been working themselves steadily up the ladder to become the series regulars of Stranger Things. Oh no. They were what they needed to populate this show. And so there's that path where you're sort of exactly what casting is looking for, and you are discovered whether you have the experience or not. And then there are those of us who aren't smoking hot or super nerdy looking. We're just sort of somewhere in the middle, and we need to work so that we can identify where the industry sees us and what we're useful to the industry for. And we keep doing those jobs with increasing amounts of responsibility and increasing amounts of usefulness to the show that you're working on. And that's the path, is that you just keep doing it until more responsibility gets given to you, and then more responsibility gets given to you, and then a show gets created where, oh, you're exactly what they're looking for the series regular. So there is no one path to becoming the series regular, which, let's be real, is what we all want as actors. We want to be able to make our living from acting. And there are only a few ways in which to do that, and one of them is, on the television world, is becoming the series regular. You can't stitch together enough co-stars and guest stars in order to make a living. You have to supplement that path. But until you do that path, for people like me who are, regular looking folk, you just have to keep working at it until somebody thinks, yep, that's exactly who we're looking for. All right, I didn't see any comments except for a few hellos. Thank you for joining me. Any advice? Oh, Cambe, I'm so sorry I missed that one. Any advice to someone who just turned 25? Live your life. If you just turned 25, Cambe, live your life. Um, Live your life, Cambe. Now, the reason that I say that is because the more life you have outside of acting, the more interests you have outside of acting, the more specific you are, and for uh, the more specific you are for a casting opportunity. Let's see if you're. Yeah. Oh, I'm not sure that Cambe's here anymore. Oh, I might shoot him a message and say I'm sorry I missed that one. So the trouble with the comments on TikTok is that they roll past so quickly. Uh, I do not play that game. They go past so quickly that if you don't catch them right at that moment, then they're gone. But if you are in your early mid-20s, happy birthday. And what I would recommend is that you make sure that you have interests outside of acting, because those interests make you more interesting, more specific, more castable. Um, if you love rock climbing, don't let that go just because you love theater, because those rock climbing skills are exactly what's going to get you a movie alongside Cameron Diaz. No, who is it? Charlize Theron. Isn't she doing the hiking, rock climbing, outdoorsy thing? Do you understand what I'm saying? So give your hobbies some attention and some love, because it's those things that make you more specific and more castable. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me. Remember, wherever you are in your acting career, you got this. Keep going. And I will be right back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. Let me know what it is where you're coming from and what you're working